Alright guys, MarkBoy316 here with another video, and today's going to be a review. And it's from the Best of Raw 15th Anniversary set. More specifically, it's, if I can get it out here, this is the one with Shawn Michaels on the cover here, 1993 to 97, and there it is. The first episode of Monday Night Raw. So this is the review for you guys of that. You see Max Moon, who was played by Paul Diamond, and Shawn Michaels. And the opening match is Yokozuna versus Koko B. Ware. This is 2 weeks before the 1993 Royal Rumble, and Koko tries to lock up with Yokozuna. Yokozuna keeps pushing them back using his power. Koko hits a few drop kicks, but Yoko doesn't move. Finally, Yoko nails him in the corner with a running splash. Then Yoko hits the banzai drop for the 1, 2, 3, a very quick match. But that's the opening match, and it's just to put Yokozuna over heading into the Royal Rumble. So that's pretty awesome, pretty cool. Building momentum for the Rumble for Yoko. Then we have the Steiner Brothers against the Executioners, who is Barry Hardy, a long time enhancement talent, and Dwayne Gill, who was Gilbert under mask, of course. The Executioners against the Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott, and this was a hard-hitting match with the Steiner Brothers doing all the hitting. Scott Steiner hits the double arm power bomb, belly to belly suplex. Then Rick Steiner just throws around one of the Executioners with a power slam. Then they finally hit their double team bulldog off the top rope for the win, because they're facing the Beverly Brothers at the pay-per-view. So it's a warm-up match for the Steiner Brothers. It was just a match to put them over. But then we get to the match of the night. We get Shawn Michaels defending the IC title against Max Moon, who obviously was played by Paul Diamond, who used to be with the Orient Express, and him and Pat Tanaka were in the AWA as Bad Company. They were a great tag team, and it was originally Conan who was supposed to play Max Moon, but he left because of a backstage altercation. So they figured, well, Paul Diamond, you fit the suit. This guy had like a jetpack and shoot fireworks out of his wristbands and looked like a futuristic person. But Max Moon, like you said, he's on the disc artwork here. As you can see him, Michaels has him in a headlock. There it is, Paul Diamond. Well, yeah, Max Moon, great match. Arm drags by Max Moon, very fast paced. Both men were going 100 miles an hour. Max Moon gets throws Michaels over the top to the floor, nails him with a seated senton, and Vince says, "Oh, what a maneuver!" Oh my god, I hated Vince when he said that. What a maneuver! Learn your moves there, Vince. The seated senton. Then Max Moon hits a rolling forward roll slam. It almost gets a 3 count, gets a 2.5 count. Keeps Michaels at bay with arm drags and stuff. A pretty cool match. Michaels finally hits goes to charge in the corner, goes shoulder first into the buckle. Finally gets control back by eye gouging and eye raking Max Moon. Finally hits the super kick, which was not his finisher at this time, but hits a nice crescent kick, Vince calls it. And then he hits him with the teardrop suplex, basically. When he puts his arm between the legs and goes back in a suplex, and that was his finisher back then. And gets the 3 count in a 10 minutes and 30-second match. Best match on the card, obviously. And for the last match, we have actually before that there was a interview with Razor Ramon, who was getting the title shot against Bret Hart at the 90 Rumble. They show the Razor attacking Owen during Superstars. He's being interviewed by Raymond Rougeau in the locker room. Razor just clotheslines him right out of his chair, and hits him with a trash can and beats up Owen Hart. And then he talks to Bret and he says, "Hey, I'm draped in gold. I got all the gold on me. Well, I'm gonna get your gold at the Royal Rumble." And a good interview. The crowd for the show was actually pretty hyped, and they were pretty energetic. So it was a good crowd. And then you have from Superstars again, they show Kamala turning babyface. The Uganda joining Kamala. He had just beat a enhancement talent, and Kim Chi and Harvey Wolfman were like pushing them and telling them, hey, you gotta listen to us, because he used to have the opponent on their stomach, and he would try to pin them on their back, like he'd fall on their backs and try to pin them on their stomach, and they would say, no, turn the guy around, then pin him, and he wouldn't listen to the managers and stuff, and they kept pushing him until Dr. Style Slick, the cool manager from back in the day, used to manage the Twin Towers, and had Nikolai and the Sheik there for a while, the Slickster. He came down and they beat him up. Harvey Whippleman and Kimchi beat him up, and then Kamala beat up Kimchi, threw him over the top, and chased Harvey Whippleman down the aisle. So Kamala turning babyface, and then they had the main event, and this is also on the Raw 10th anniversary set, if you happen to have that one. And it's Undertaker versus Damien Demento, who would both, of course, be in the Royal Rumble that year, in 2 weeks time. And Damien Demento was started off by landing huge right hands, beating Undertaker to the punch, sends him into the ropes with an Irish whip. Taker catches him into a bulldog. Then Damien Demento gets beat up for a while. Taker hits old school. Then he throws the Demento in the corner, nails Taker coming in with a big boot, tries to mount some offense, but Taker cuts him off, chokes him in the corner, and then Paul Bearer gives him the sign, and hits the Tombstone Piledriver. 1, 2, 3, you winner, The Undertaker. And the final segment of Raw is Vince interviewing Doink the Clown, telling that he has to stop making kids cry and stuff like that. And Crush has already warned him not to do that anymore. And Crush comes out. They have a little altercation, and he chases Doink around the ring. And basically, that's it. All throughout the show, Bobby Heenan is trying to get into the building, but they have Randy Savage, Vince McMahon, and Rob Bartlett, a radio personality from New York City. They were in the Manhattan Center in New York, and he's been trying to get into the arena all show long, and at the end, Sean Mooney outside says, okay, you can go, and the show's over. So that was kind of funny, but other than that, that's how the show ends, and that's your very first episode of Monday Night Raw, January 11th, 1993. Best match, obviously, Max Moon, Shawn Michaels. Then I would probably go with Taker and Damien Demento. Then it would be Yoko and Coco Beware, and then the Steiners against the Executioners. And like I said, the fans were into every match, even the enhancement jobber matches, they were into the matches. And for that time period or that time frame, a good first episode of Raw. And this from this set, we also had talking heads on with JR saying that it was a revolutionary thing having Monday night wrestling, because usually you have to wait to the weekend for it to happen. Same thing for Edge. Edge would say he would watch wrestling on Monday, then he'd be all ready to watch wrestling on the weekend again. And then they had Foley talking to a little bit about Raw, stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. But the first episode of Monday Night Raw. So thank you guys for joining me. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have the 40th set of this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.